Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market today. I wanted to answer a question that one of you guys had asked about my kids' portfolio and what are some of the long-term stocks that I have for them. So at some point, I think I'm going to break these videos up into like two. So I do want to talk about the ones I sold and the ones that we just had to get rid of, and the ones that we kept, and the new ones that we added, and obviously the long-term holding. So here's a long-term video for both of them. Again, we'll probably do one about the ones we sold and the new stocks that we added. So first, for my kids, now we do set Fidelity because they have what are called custodial accounts. These are one of the few accounts that I can buy stocks on their behalf. When they turn 18, that money's theirs. They can do what they want to do with it. As a parent, you gotta train them up right so they don't blow it on spring break in Miami or something. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first long-term holding that I have for them is an index fund. It's ITOT, that's the ticker symbol. There are tons of index funds out there that do something very, very similar. This is the one I went with, and this is something I ain't selling. I ain't selling it, okay? So there are some companies I did get rid of. This ain't one of them. So this is an index fund that holds the entire U.S. stock market. The entire U.S. stock market. So they're diversified already. The majority of their money is, both of them, I have two kids, a son and a daughter. Both of them have this, and the majority, I think close to 60, almost 70% of their money is in that fund. The reason I do is because it's really easy. It's a no-brainer, super diversified. And if I happen to make a mistake, or they happen to make a mistake, once they start to take over the account, you always got you a good solid 7% or so, not guaranteed, but you got that in the background that's going to be running for you, because that's what the stock market has done historically since the 50s and beyond. So we got a lot of data there. But for the two of them, they both hold Apple. This has been a long-term holding for the both of them. Now, the oldest is 3, so long-term is as much as you can. But for my son, he's only had it. Actually, they both had it around the same time. Even though my daughter is less than a year old at this point. She's like 10 months old. The reason is we didn't have fractional shares at that point in time. So my son would have had Apple since birth, but Apple was too expensive. I think it was, don't quote me on this, it was, I don't know, $300-$400 a share, whatever it was. He had $300 or $400. He was just a baby, right? Saying I was only putting in about $100 a month or so. So he couldn't afford it at that time. But now he can. So that's why, 1, fractional shares are important. 2, they both have it now, and that's the most important thing. So they both have that. I just added Berkshire Hathaway, BRK.B. On some apps it's .b, on others apps it's /b to look at that company. It's Warren Buffett's company. They've done well. I expect them to continue to do well, especially this year. So I want to add that and keep that in like the stable. And those are going to be 3 companies or 3 investments: ITOT, Apple, and Berkshire B. We can get into why it's B and not A and that stuff later. But those are the 3 that both of them hold equally. Okay, so they both own 2 of those. But this is where they diverge. So my son's long-term holding that is different than his sister's right now is Nike, and my daughter's long-term holding that he does not own is Nvidia. Why they own different ones? A few reasons. One is older than the other, and at the time that my son was born in 2018, Nike made a whole lot of sense, and for him, it's going to continue to make a whole lot of sense. The boy was, investing when it was $65 a share. I say this all the time: $65 a share, $88 a share, $110 a share, and I mean he's in the money for real, right? I tried to invest in Nike based on how well he was doing, and it didn't work out for me. So I had to let Nike go. He is likely going to hold that one for a very, very long time. When his sister was born last year, she was born in a pandemic year. Nike at that point in time, while I still thought it was good if you invest in 2018, wasn't looking all that great for her at that point in time. So her biggest holding, her long-term holding is Nvidia. Now, will they both have Nvidia and Nike and kind of swap those out? That might be the case. But remember, it all depends on the analysis that I had at that point in time. So Nvidia has been her longest holding. It's only been 10 months anyway. So there you go for that. So outside of Apple, ITOT, and Berkshire B, Nvidia is the one that she holds. I think obviously it's a really, really good company. It's been really hot for the last really several years, and hopefully continues to do so and helps her through college and everything else. The same for Nike and my son. They do hold other companies, but these are the long terms, the ones I don't intend on selling at any point soon, right? So while I do use the same process where we reevaluate every 6 months, reevaluate doesn't always mean sell, but I do come back and say, okay, well, I thought Nike was good, I thought Nvidia was good, I thought Clorox was good, might not be, right? So I gotta come back, check things out, see what we should keep, remove, or continue. But these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I don't plan on really touching, especially the index fund, especially Apple, Nike, Nvidia, and we hope for Berkshire B to be there as well. So those are long-term ones, the ones we don't plan on selling, the ones I hope are still here when they're in high school and first house and all that kind of stuff. The others we will talk about. We'll do a separate video on those. I'll talk about why I added them, what had to get kicked out, what had to get the boot, and then where we want to go from here. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later.